What is up, guys? Hackman is back with another Destiny video. Today I'm going to be giving you guys a few tips that will hopefully help you to be able to complete the Vosik challenge mode. Whether it's hard or normal, these tips will hopefully be game changers, and these aren't just going to be little guys that might help you. If you follow these tips, you should be able to stay alive and complete the Vosik challenge mode. Now, Vosik is arguably, and in my opinion, the hardest part of the raid. And it being the challenge does not help. So, challenge is this week, and hopefully you guys can beat it if you follow these few tips that I'm going to give you right now. So, to start off, first thing, you're going to have to communicate a lot with your team. And you need to decide who on your side is going to be getting the front bomb. Now, I'm sure you know that there's two bombs that spawn on your side in hard. And the one that spawns in front is always the hardest to get. Usually you pick it up and either you get melted by ads or a bunch of ads come in, and that just makes it really hard. Usually the person with the highest light should get the bomb just because they'll be able to stay alive, and it's more likely that they'll be able to handle it. So, I would really recommend that you talk with your team and say, listen, you're higher light than me, or I'm higher light than you, so I will pick up the farther up front bomb. And that'll help loads just because so many deaths come from the person who's trying to pick up the bomb. Next up, you're going to need somebody, of course, to count off, like when you're throwing the bombs at the same time. And usually the way this works is, if the left side is ready, you'll say left ready, and right ready, mid ready. Once everyone is ready, then the person will say 3, 2, 1, throw them. And you shouldn't pick up the bomb too early, because that way you can't shoot, and you're just waiting, and the ads will build up. So say you're ready when you're next to your bomb, and then when the person starts to count, you pick it up, and you throw it at Vosik. Now, next, major tip right here. Captains. So you and your team need, the person next to you needs a solid plan for how you're going to kill the captain. And I don't just mean we're going to shoot him or we're going to snipe him to death. You need a solid plan. Whether it's a dark drinker, an exotic sword, or a super, you need something that can take out that captain really quick so that he doesn't kill people. So I think this is the biggest tip, just because usually captains are just a big cause of death in the Vosik challenge, or even just hard mode. And, if you have just a good plan, and you just say, hey, teammate, I'm going to be using the Dark Drinker, just let me roast him, and you focus on the ads, then you're good, and you can stay alive. And then you'll be able to make it to the DPS phase. So the thing with DPS is it doesn't really matter how you want to do it. Of course, I'd recommend a tether and weapons of light. But you're going to want to, when you DPS him, you're going to want to do maximum damage the first round, as much as you can. And then the second round, you're going to want to get him to just a sliver of health. Okay? And then the third round, you can just wipe him out. And as you probably know for the challenge, you need to do this in 3 DPS phases. And you're also going to have to use the bombs to close the door on 2 rooms in the same run. So, with this is just a tip that will help your team stay alive. I would recommend you already have 2 pre-decided people that are going to pick up the bombs that you're going to open the doors with, close the doors. And those 2 players, one of them is going to be brave, and they're going to take the farther room if there is one. Say they're both right, one of them will take the farther up right, and just that guy will. And the rest of your team will take the easier one to get to. That way, the guy who's taking the far one can just get in there and close the door, and he is safe. This also means he's making a sacrifice, and in case he dies because he's taking the farther one, or maybe the room just glitches out, he's the only one that will die, and the rest of your team will be safe. Now, and then it also makes it easier on the person with the closer room, because then he gets in, the rest of the team gets in, it's just really quick, and then he can just throw the bomb and close the closer room. So it's just easier for everyone that way. And also, of course, you're going to need somebody who calls out which rooms are available. So somebody's just going to take a little bit of time, maybe stop DPSing a little early, and get in a position where he can see, and then say, okay, all the rooms on left or on right, or just the front rooms. Those are the rooms that you can go into. And then you just really rinse and repeat. But mostly the first 2 steps are just so crucial. Because the only thing that really happens with this challenge is people die, and then you have to wipe. And the 2 really big reasons why people die are because they went up for the bomb and they got melted by ads because they didn't do it right, or they're not high enough light, or they just didn't have a plan when they went for the captain, and of course the captain killed them. Because those captains are hard, guys, you gotta be honest. So really the big common thing with all of these tips is just communication. And don't be afraid to say like, hey, I'm lower light than you, so could you maybe do this harder roll? Or don't be afraid to say like, hey, I missed that bomb, so we're gonna have to do a whole nother run of killing ads. Because then your team knows, and they're like, okay, you just can't be afraid to communicate with your team. And once you can start communicating with your team and just talking to each other, and you have a game plan ahead of time, you will be able to beat the challenge mode. I know it's really hard, but I know you guys can do it. If your whole team follows these tips, and you guys just have a game plan ahead of time, and everybody knows who's doing what, you will be able to beat the Vosik challenge mode this week. So I hope this video was helpful for you. If it was, please drop a like down below. It helps this channel grow, and it'd mean a lot to me. Also subscribe to my channel if you want to see more daily Destiny uploads. This is Hackman, and I'll see you in the next video.